Okay, so are you ready for this? We are diving deep into the immune system today.
Yeah, bring it on. The fascinating topic.
Yeah, all those articles and studies and research papers you sent me,
Yeah, yeah.
all about killer T cells and antibodies, the whole 9 yards, we're going to
Yeah.
unpack all of that.
Awesome.
So first off, you were talking about how the immune system is kind of like this well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it really is. It's incredible how it all works together.
Yeah, and in your notes, you highlighted this key difference between what's called the innate immune system and the adaptive immune system.
Right, right. They're like two different branches of the military working together.
And you even had this cool analogy.
Yeah.
You were comparing the innate system to a castle's defenses.
Exactly, exactly. Like, think about it. You've got the walls of the castle, right? And that's kind of like your skin.
Right.
It's that first line of defense, keeping all the bad stuff out.
Yeah, and like the moat.
Yes, the moat. That's like your mucous membranes. They're trapping all those nasty invaders trying to get in.
It's crazy how even something as simple as like snot
Oh,
is
yeah.
actually playing this vital role.
It's not just gross, it's actually protecting you.
It's wild.
It is wild.
And you mentioned the tiny hairs in our nose also play a part.
Oh, yeah, they're like little brooms sweeping away all the gunk that gets trapped in the mucus.
Wow. It's a whole system.
It's incredible.
It is, it is. But then, the bad guys get past those first defenses.
Right.
So what happens then?
Well, that's where the cellular defenses come in, right?
Right.
I mean, we're talking about the big guns here.
Okay, yeah. You were mentioning macrophages.
Yes, macrophages, like the Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, really?
They go around gobbling up all the pathogens.
See, they're literally eating the bad guys.
They are, they are. And then you've got neutrophils. Those are like the first responders rushing to the scene of the infection, ready to take on anything.
And they're particularly good at fighting off bacteria. Right?
They're like the bacterial assassins.
Okay, so we've got our Pac-Man cells and our assassins. What a team.
It's a whole army in there.
It is, it is. And then there's this whole other level, right?
Yes.
This is where it gets really cool. The adaptive immune system.
Ah, yes, the adaptive immune system. Now we're talking about precision.
Okay, yeah, this is where T cells and B cells come in.
Exactly. Exactly. These guys are like the special forces of the immune system.
Okay.
They're highly trained, highly specific.
I remember you were using this lock and key analogy.
Yeah, think of each T cell and B cell as having a unique key.
Okay.
And that key only fits one specific lock, which is the antigen on a pathogen.
Antigens. Remind me what those are again.
Oh, right. Antigens are like these little markers on the surface of pathogens.
Okay.
And they're what the immune system uses to identify the bad guys.
So the T cells and B cells, they can recognize specific invaders.
Yes, exactly. So they're not just attacking anything they see, they're going after specific targets.
I see. So like that's how we develop immunity to certain diseases.
All right. Yes. That's why, for example, once you've had chickenpox,
Right.
you're usually protected for life.
Because your body has those memory cells.
Exactly. Memory cells, they remember past infections, so if that same pathogen tries to sneak back in, the immune system is ready to go.
So it's all very coordinated.
It is. Very, very coordinated.
But it's not just cells floating around.
Oh, no. You need a whole infrastructure to support this army.
Right, like the organs of the immune system.
Exactly. We're talking about bone marrow, the thymus, lymph nodes, the spleen.
So bone marrow, that's where all the immune cells are born, right?
Yes. It's like the birthplace of your immune system.
Amazing.
It is.
And then you mentioned the thymus.
Ah, the thymus. This is where T cells go to school. It's like their boot camp.
Boot camp, really?
Yeah. They learn how to distinguish between friend and foe.
Oh.
Because you don't want your immune system attacking your own cells.
That makes sense.
So it's crucial training.
So how about lymph nodes? I know when I'm getting sick, my lymph nodes always swell up.
Ah, yeah. Lymph nodes are like little filters stationed throughout your body. They're constantly checking the lymph fluid for any signs of trouble.
Okay.
And when they detect an infection, they sound the alarm and call in the troops.
So that's why they swell.
Exactly. It's a sign that your immune system is working hard to fight off the infection.
And then we've got the spleen.
Ah, the spleen. Multitasking marvel.
What does it do?
Well, it filters your blood, removes old red blood cells, and also stores and activates immune cells.
Wow, busy place. So we've got all these organs working together, but how does it all actually happen?
Right, like what are the steps involved in fighting off an infection?
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about inflammation.
Okay.
You know how when you get a cut or you have an infection, the area gets red, swollen, and warm?
Yeah.
That's inflammation. It's actually a good thing. It
Really?
means your immune system is doing its job, sending all the necessary cells and fluids to the area to contain the damage.
Even though it feels uncomfortable, it's actually helping us.
Exactly. It's your body's way of healing itself.
And you mentioned something called antigen presentation.
Oh, yeah, this is a fascinating process. It's kind of like the immune system's intelligence gathering.
Oh, interesting.
You see, dendritic cells, they're like little spies.
Okay.
They capture pieces of the pathogen,
Okay.
and they show them to the T cells.
So they're basically saying, hey, look what we found. This is the enemy.
Exactly. And this triggers what we call clonal selection.
Clonal selection.
Yeah, it's like choosing the best soldiers for a specific mission.
Okay.
The T cells that recognize the antigen are selected to multiply, creating a whole army to target that specific pathogen.
Wow, it's so efficient.
It is. But sometimes things can go wrong. And that's when you get problems like autoimmune disorders.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
This is when the immune system basically attacks itself.
Like friendly fire.
Exactly. It mistakes the body's own tissues for foreign invaders.
And I was reading this article about the hygiene hypothesis.
Oh.
It's this idea that maybe our environments are too clean now,
Right.
and that maybe that's messing with our immune systems.
Yeah, some scientists think that being exposed to a variety of microbes early in life actually helps to train the immune system, making it less likely to overreact later on.
Interesting. So too clean might not be a good thing after all.
Maybe not. But then there's the opposite problem. A weakened immune system.
Right, like immunodeficiency disorders.
Exactly. Whether inherited or acquired, this makes the body much more vulnerable to infections.
And then there's the scary possibility of cancer of the immune system itself.
Right, where the very cells that are supposed to protect you turn against you.
That's terrifying.
It is. It is.
So how does all this relate to vaccines? Because, vaccines are a powerful tool, right?
Oh, absolutely. They're brilliant, really.
Yeah.
Vaccines are like giving your immune system a sneak peek at the enemy.
A sneak peek.
Yeah, they introduce a harmless version of the pathogen, allowing your body to build up those memory cells without actually getting sick.
So it's like a training exercise for the immune system.
Exactly. And that brings us to herd immunity.
Oh, right. You were talking about how important that is.
It's crucial. When enough people are vaccinated, it creates this protective barrier that helps to stop the spread of disease.
And it even protects those who can't get vaccinated for medical reasons.
Exactly. It's a collective effort.
It's amazing how much we've learned about the immune system.
It is
Yeah.
incredible, and we're learning more all the time.
It's so complex. It's honestly mind-blowing.
It really is. But thinking about all of this,
Yeah.
it really makes you think about how you can support your own immune system.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Like, what are you eating? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you managing your stress levels? All of these things play a role.
Right. It's not just about fighting off infections. It's about giving your immune system the resources it needs to do its job.
Exactly.
Wow, so much to think about. This has been a really eye-opening deep dive into the immune system.
It really is a remarkable system.
It is.